All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, just as we thought, all that rumbling all over the place in America, earthquakes out in South Carolina or California and everything. All right, we got a volcano that's getting ready to pop its top, from what the professionals are saying up in Alaska. Which this is going to be very dramatic, folks. It's going to melt a lot of water, a lot of ice, a lot of snow. They're saying this thing could be huge. It could be. It looks like it's starting to collapse around itself. So uh, that's a sign of she's going to pop her top. Right? I think St. Helens did that too. The walls of the crater started giving in, and it was sucking, and it was falling into the crater, uh, and eventually it built up pressure, and she popped. So let's check out JLR's channel real quick. He's talking about it. And right now we got to watch the jet stream because we could, if they're saying it's going to be 50,000 feet up in the atmosphere, it could be very uh, possible, if the jet stream is right, uh, that we get this ash dumped on us. So let's take a look at Mr. JLR's. He's reporting it now. Um, let's see what we could do here. Good morning, Rebecca Ann. And I'm going to put JLR's channel in my chat and in the description. I knew it was just a matter of time. And we're waiting for Mount St. Helens, too. We're looking at her. She's been doing a little bit of burping. All right, hold on a minute. Almost there. Let's see what's going on.
80 miles away. Folks, there is a imminent eruption near Anchorage, Alaska on Mount Spur. And forecasters think that in any day, any second, any time, even after this video, during this video, that this volcano is going to erupt. It's about 80 miles away from Anchorage, Alaska, Alaska's biggest city. Plumes of ash supposed to go up 50,000 feet in the air and level Anchorage, Alaska. And the residents of Anchorage are preparing for this volcano eruption. Let me give you some information about what is going on in Anchorage. This is scary, scary stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out.
Ooh, she's smoking. She's smoking. Now, if you look around the crater now, the inside, you see them. You see how it's breaking away. It's collapsing in on itself. And that's somewhat what Mount St. Helens did, right? She started collapsing in on herself, and and uh, and then she just went. She just went. Ooh, we have a discoloration in the water too, which is a sign of uh, minerals and gases and everything. Water looks
All right,
green.
this is an alert put out April 15, 2025. Unrest continues at Mount Spur volcano. Seismicity remains elevated with occasional small, shallow volcanic earthquakes detected beneath the volcano over the past day. Minor and typical steaming from the summit was observed in web camera images during periods of clear viewing conditions. No evidence of activity observed in satellite images. AVO continues monitoring activity at Mount Spur for signals indicating that the volcano is moving closer to an eruption. Based on previous eruptions, changes from current activity in the earthquakes, ground deformation, summit lake conditions, and activity would be expected if magma began to move closer to the surface. Therefore, if an eruption occurs,
I'll tell you what, if this happens, she's going to be big. It's going to create a steam blast Why? Well, if you got all this magma and you got all this ice and water, she's going to be she's going to be a humdinger if she goes. It's going to melt everything around there. Uh, and so prepare for floods. There could be massive damage. And depending on which way the jet stream is going, we could end up with this ash in America. So very, very serious situation. Hopefully she don't go. Hopefully she calms down. But they're saying it's imminent. She's gonna pop her top, right? So and then, like I said, this we got to be careful because this could be happening with Mount St. Helens too. Here, it's usually a chain reaction, the ring of fire. Uh, so we got to be safe. And you guys, everybody's worried about war, war, war. I would cancel all your wars. I do believe the Lord is telling you folks through this, I'll get rid of everybody and start over. And that might be what the Lord is sending out a signal. This is no joking matter. If it was somewhere else, like St. Helens or anything, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Uh, but they don't understand. You got a lot of ice and water, and that itself will create even a bigger explosion, uh, and it's going to melt everything. You're going to have floods. You're going to have this could change Alaska. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not a professional volcanologist, but this could change a lot of things. Uh, I hope the government is watching this. I hope the teams are ready. I hope America's ready. But Satan has distracted us so much. Um, People don't understand that if this earthquake goes off, this can affect America, even though it's in Alaska. All right, let's listen to a little bit more about this. Actually, I'm going to fast forward it. Now, what they're also not telling you is this is going to be deadly gas that is released into our atmosphere. Okay? Very deadly gas. Carbon monoxide, cellophane, or sulfur, all kinds of stuff. Very deadly.
AVO previously told Daily Mail the event would be explosive, adding that it would spew multiple plumes of ash rising 50,000 feet into the air. Residents in
Check out the little dog. What
Anchorage
is
are very scared here
that? I
because
would
they
be
had an
scared.
eruption back in 1992 and it affected the area. So each ash producing explosive episode would last 3 to 4 hours, resulting in Anchorage and other nearby communities being engulfed in a giant
Yeah,
cloud.
Miss Debbie Fox.
Volcanic ash can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat and cause more serious health issues for people with asthma, other forms of lung disease, and several heart problems.
This ain't good, right? You don't want to be breathing in that ash. You'll get a concrete lung. What happens is you breathe this ash in, and it is literally silicone glass. And this ash builds up in your lungs, and then you get concrete lungs, uh, and you can't breathe and everything. Very serious situation, folks. I don't think America's prepared for this. They're too worried about all this other crap, politics and everything. Uh, Literally, this can choke the life out of humanity. And they're right. It is going to be a big one. Why? Because where it's at, you got all that snow, water, and ice, uh, which will tenfold the explosion. It'll be unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, that might be all the tremors we've been feeling in America and the earthquakes. And yeah, get ready, folks. Get ready, right? I mean, we've already seen this with St. Helens and a couple other volcanoes. They are going off a lot. Is it a sign from God? I don't know. Maybe, right? I would suggest America gets ready because the world is changing. Whether it be a cycle that we once had 50,000 years ago and we're returning to it, maybe. Does anyone know? No, nobody really knows because nobody was around to document it back then of what actually happened. What about before people were on Earth? What kind of cycles was the Earth going through then? We have no idea because there was no one there to document it. So this could be a very serious situation. I wouldn't be playing with it. I would be on the lookout at Mount St. Helens too for any activity and out west in California. And all you could do is hunker down or at least get out of Alaska. I probably would do that till she blew her top.
Residents have stocked up on N95 masks, latex gloves.
All right, there she is.
So Mount Spur is about to erupt, and I wanted to make sure that we were prepared for it because we've never gone through a volcano eruption. Now, nobody lives at the base of Mount Spur, so there isn't a concern for that. The only concern that we have is for ash, and so we wanted to be well prepared for that. So I took out, we already had these, so I took out our respirators. So those are out and ready to use. And then I picked us up some goggles from Amazon. These are just standard like swimming goggles. I just wanted to make sure that they kind of like sealed around our eyes so we weren't getting any ash into our eyes. And then the respirators, obviously, so we aren't breathing it in. Now, unfortunately, they don't make respirators for dogs, but I did absolutely buy him some goggles. I've already put them on him. He doesn't love them, but he also doesn't mind them. I also picked up 2 replacement air filters for our truck, as well as a 2-pack of pantyhose for any other filters. We have plenty of tarps to cover our wood and our equipment, our generators and our snowblowers, as well as our other truck and the mini bikes and the motorcycle. We have plenty of plastic and tarps for all of that. All of our windows and our front door seals up really nicely, so I'm not worried about having to seal those. So we didn't get any tape to seal them. So now we just pretty much wait for it to erupt and kind of see how things go. At most, I think they said we would get about a 1/4 inch of ash. So when it does erupt, I will definitely keep you guys updated. I'm sure we'll be able to see the plume from here, but I think we are about as well prepared as we can be for the eruption.
So y'all know I just moved to Anchorage, Alaska, and apparently there's supposed to be a volcano that's erupting somewhere close enough for it to affect Anchorage. Look, I didn't come down here for this. I didn't come down here for volcanoes. Not that I would go anywhere for a volcano or I even know where volcanoes actually are geographically. Like that's just not something I've ever thought.
Well, let me tell you something, you luscious piece of dark chocolate. Next time you move, you better see if there's a volcano around it. And you best get your dark chocolate wrapped up so you don't melt, baby. I know she's like, I didn't move here for a volcano. No, you didn't. But you best get out of there fast. Let's see what Debbie said. Lady, you need to realize. Oh, she does. She does.
What I'd have to worry about, a little bit worry about, but apparently there are volcanoes in Alaska and we need to be prepared for one. So I spent like $24 today on masks and bought several bottles of water because I now need to prep for volcanoes. I just feel like prepping for fire season in California was a lot, and I just got used to that. But I feel like prepping for volcano season or volcano eruptions, I don't know how often that happens down here, just wasn't on my agenda, especially not for day 3 in the city. Like I just got here 3 days ago.
Welcome to the world of Welcome to our world. Did she not go to school? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea, you white chocolate little love bunny, Debbie. But anyways, get ready. Don't yeah, I'll tell you what, close your windows, folks, if you're out there. And if you're gonna use well, they can't use their central air. I was gonna say maybe they could use their central air to filter some of it out, but that ash will be falling. They'll have to keep their central air clean. Oh my God, why don't we have a filtering system that goes over these HVAC systems to where it can operate almost like almost like the uh, HVAC system you got in your house that you change a filter. Maybe there's a filter they can put over these things that'll collect the dust because you won't be able to use your central air. Get some fans. Um, and keep your windows and doors shut. This ash will get into everything. It'll get into your car motors. If you're driving your cars out there, it'll clog your air filters. It'll clog your cabin filters. It will do many things. Oh, it looks like she's married. I take it back that you're a beautiful piece of dark chocolate. I didn't see she's married. She's flaunting that ring. Look at, I'm married. Oh, I know. I see it. All right, let's get back to this.
JLR investigates. Let's hope it doesn't explode. But if it does explode, let's hope it doesn't, affect the people of Anchorage. It's, a population that's like 300,000 people there, man. Reminds me of the movie Dante's Peak, right? Scary. It's very, very scary. The power of Mother Nature. Apparently, this is just in this ring of fire area. So we don't know what's going on below the earth, but some of the experts are saying it's about to happen. There is a warning. There is a warning. There's a warning for sure. Volcano eruption beneath the earth, and it might happen, might not happen, but it could happen a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years now, who knows? Or it could happen today. We are monitoring the situation. If it does erupt, we will share on JLR Investigate. Sub to the channel, like.
Well, there you go, folks. Now, like I said, we're going to have to keep an eye on the volcanoes that are in America because they're all connected to the ring of fire. And it could be a chain reaction. We're not sure. I would have national disaster teams ready to go. Could it cause floods in Alaska? Could it raise the surface of the water and the oceans and everything? This depending how big it is, yeah, she could go up in a blaze of glory. When? Who knows? Nobody knows. They predicting it's getting ready to, but it might not. Hopefully it don't, but if it does, how big will it be? Who knows? We don't know how big the magma chamber is underneath this thing. A lot of people didn't even know there was an active volcano in Alaska. I do believe there's a couple volcanoes out there. So if she goes, she goes. Nothing anyone could do about it. It is a very dangerous situation, but not only for Alaska, for America. So be ready. It could have a volcano eruption out there in Alaska, but we get earthquakes. So you gotta be ready. I don't know. People just ain't. And so they're so worried. Politics, war. I'm like, shut everything down. You know, America's going down the world is. We got to get ready. No, we must have our death machines. No, don't play with your death machines. But I think I got masks around here. And believe it or not, folks, I know you're saying I'm crazy, but if this volcano goes there, depending on which way jet stream is, we could be looking at a lot of ash being dumped in America. And we already get ash in Indiana from the volcanoes that erupted out there in Italy and these other countries. Yep. Yeah, you could. You can also just go to your local hardware store and get ventilation mask. A real military gas mask would be good, but you can get N5 mask that'll work, and you can also get these masks that they sell at the hardware store or Walmart for drywalling and for doing chemical sprays and stuff. You can get all that at Walmart. All right, we will be back. Now, once again, keep an eye on it. Make sure you go over there and check out JLR's channel. I posted it in chat and in the description. And hunker down, babies. Hunker down. I have 5 masks I have collected. Well, good. Good. That's good. Now, everyone hunker down. If it don't blow up, it don't blow up, thank God. But if it does, it could be very, very bad. It's going to melt a lot of ice and snow. You're going to have mudslide. You're going to have all kinds of stuff. And then you have to think of the animals in that area, the polar bears, the seals, and all kinds of stuff. So, I don't know. All glory goes to God. Thanks for another day, Lord. And, it might not be here too much longer. Who knows? We don't know. Have a good day, folks. I'll be back with more news and exciting things. I discovered a new foraging food. What is? Message me, Deb. Let me know what it is. You folks have a good day. Oh, wait, it was potatoes. I think you said it was potatoes. But let me remind you, Debbie, if the world gets covered with ash from a volcano, there won't be no food because the ash will kill everything. Fairy potatoes. Well, maybe she's right. I don't know. We'll be back. We'll be back here shortly.